So we get our cacao, go to take a sip. I was
What did you expect it to taste like?
because it smells like chocolate, and it looks like chocolate. And so she said that it's gonna be bitter. So I was expecting bitter.
You said you had your first cacao ceremony, and I
So
am
many
very,
firsts.
very, very curious
Girl.
because I had one. I think I told you about the one I did in Mexico, and
Yes.
it was so wild. Like, so I am curious. I don't think yours was like that, but
No,
what
no,
was it
it was
like?
not. And I saw Natasha down in the chat. So hey Natasha, I went with her last night.
Hey,
So
girl, what happened?
hey. um so first it was an invitation to a drum circle and percussionist and all this, and we're gonna have fun, and and included is a cacao ceremony. So I'm like, okay,
Okay,
I don't know what that
and these
is.
are indigenous people. Who is this? Is
So this was the group of women that I met through one woman. It's a group of expats that live
okay,
here, and
okay,
have been here for maybe like 3 years, three
okay.
to a year and a half. Is kind of like
So
the
they live
decent
there.
time. They live here,
Okay.
from everywhere. Amazing women, super sweet, smart, all the good things. Um, and so we were in our group chat, and Natasha was like, "Hey, this is going on tomorrow. If anybody wants to come." And I'm like, oh, "Okay, cool." And like someone else was like, "Oh, I'm not familiar with the cacao ceremony. I'll have to look it up." And I was like, "Yeah, me either." Because for some reason, it didn't dawn on me your experience with it as being that. So I'm just like,
Got
oh,
you.
okay. And so then
The
when I
cacao part
did,
is the easy part of it all.
all right. Well, so I look it up, and I'm just like, okay, it's a ceremony. Some people, become emotional. It's just opening your heart and set intentions and say mantras and, join your voices together and whole nine, right? So I'm like, all right, sure, I'll try it. I haven't been. Bianca was good to go. So I'm like, all right, we're doing this. So
Mhm.
we so the place, I'm thinking, I wasn't sure if it was at someone's house or somewhere. And so like on the flyer, it said Casa Azul. So I'm thinking that's the name of the place. So I'm trying to figure out why Uber is not pulling up Casa Azul first and
It's just
foremost,
a
right?
blue house in the middle. Girl, paint the picture, girl. What?
So I put the address in because it wouldn't pull up Casa Azul. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So the Uber driver's like, a key? And I'm like, no, say. But it's like 5:58. It's supposed to start at 6, and I don't want to be late. You know me. So I'm like, all right. So we get out. It is this beautiful house, y'all. Like, I mean, gorgeous. And it's surrounded by other houses behind like big thick fences, but you can see like these big homes. But
Okay.
it definitely looked, I'm like, this feels like one of those places in the movies that you go in and you never come out of, kind of thing. Like that's what it looked like, right? So
Lord, and
I'm
you know you go rape, murder, kill in a minute. So
immediately. However, well, quick side note, my mom was here for 3 weeks with me. She came to visit, had a great time. Yay, she's back home. Love you, my high. She was talking about possibly wanting to be a realtor or like a real estate agent, and that one of the things that kind of kept her from doing it was the fear that if she went to like show a property, like things could go sideways or whatever, and
mm,
that she wind up being murdered in the home. And I was like,
mm.
you got
That's
you
where
went
I get it from. Is that what you
you
thought?
went. I said you went far. How did you get there? And then I remembered my murder and kill wishes, and I was like, oh, okay, I got it. Honest. Okay,
Hello, Apple. Here's the treat.
girl, that's all Bianca said these full 3 weeks. Apple tree, apple tree. I said I got your damn apple. I got your damn tree. Okay. Anyway, so she's been having a master class and everything, Kalonda, for the past 3 weeks. So it's been very fun for her.
I can't wait till we talk.
You need the recap, okay? So anyway, big beautiful house. I'm telling Bianca, this looks like a house that you don't come out of. I press the bell, they open the door almost immediately. So I'm like, oh, all right, well, we in, right? So you walk
Damn, they was
in,
at our victims are here. Come on
we
in.
knew you were here, you know? And so you walk in, it's this really pretty courtyard. Like you see like you can see their kitchen immediately, like when you walk in. And then there's like this open like living room space, and they're like, okay, take your shoes off. So we take our shoes off. You walk in, they have the pillows sitting around, like this really pretty centerpiece with like roses and leaves and
Now these are Peruvian people.
so I walk in. There is a Peruvian lady who is checking us in, and then there's another Peruvian woman, I believe, that was like taking pictures and video. So when we
Okay.
walk in, and maybe even the percussionist was Peruvian as well, I believe. And so we
Okay.
walk in, we see people sitting down, and like just quick glance, just not hearing anyone speak. Like they look like a couple, maybe white people, maybe Hispanic of some sort person, but not really necessarily like identifiable just by looking at them.
Okay. A variety of
So,
folks.
and then, yeah, and then it was me, Bianca, and then eventually Natasha. So three black women, right? So we're sitting down, and then I realized that like the lady kind of directly across from me is the actual, I guess, host. Like she's the one who's actually doing the chants and like
A
leading us through the
facilitator.
ceremony.
Uh-huh.
And she's speaking Spanish, but it has like an accent. I couldn't place it, but it wasn't until
Okay.
later that we find out she's actually French. So very interesting. So it was a French
Okay.
woman leading a cacao ceremony in Spanish to like a group of multiple people. I
Interesting.
believe some people
Okay.
spoke English. Like after we wound up talking to a couple people, so it's very interesting. So we
So
have like
wait,
this
how
camp.
are y'all understanding what is happening? What language is being spoken in here?
So here we go. So the ceremony is in Spanish completely.
Okay.
So at first I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, I'm hearing some of the words. I'm like, hope, prayer, calm, heart. I'm like,
Are you
okay, got it.
translating? Or are you doing this for
Well,
yourself?
I'm listening. I'm trying to like get
Okay.
it. So, but then Natasha, she translated at one point, was like, oh hey, this is what they're saying, da da da, drink the
Okay.
cacao, open up your heart, so you can help listen. You're gonna set your mantra. We're gonna do mantras, but you can also do your own, and as a group, we'll sing. Like, okay, so then Bianca and I both like whooped out our phones and put Google Translate on and just let it listen to the room. Cause I'm like, all
Okay.
right, here we go, right? Yes. That's just like true story. So we put on Google Translate so that way, cause I also don't want to like interrupt Natasha and have her do it. And then I don't
Right.
want to be like getting it wrong for me. And then I'm
Right.
leading Bianca astray. So Google Translate. Here we go.
Uh-huh.
But for the most part, like the words, I had an understanding of what it was, so I was still okay. But definitely Google Translate helped.
Hmm.
Then they gave out like a pamphlet that had all the chants. So it was like maybe 3 pages of the different
Okay.
chants. So the first one though was like Tibetan. So it wasn't, when she said the words, nothing came up because my thing was English, Spanish to English. So I'm like, we're singing, and then they have like the drums, and there's like different little small maracas, and a bunch of like all these different instruments, and people in the circle are just kind of going along to the beat.
Where
And
is the
then
beautiful being footage and why ain't I seen it?
I believe Bianca has hers up. I didn't record. I just had like a couple videos, or I'm sorry, a couple pictures of like the centerpiece. But I think Bianca actually has like videos of the drumming and stuff. And I was like, this is my mama, my apple tree moment. I'm like, let me type this chant in and see what we're saying because
I mean, that is wise.
we over here
Okay.
calling up the end of the world. Like it's the end of times right now.
Right.
Like what are we
Yeah.
what are we saying? But it was like a Tibetan prayer to, for tranquility and open your heart and listen to your intuition and, be a good vessel. I mean, it was all the
Hmm.
good things. But I will say, so that was, they told us we're going to read through this. They go through the run through. And then she's like passing out the cacao. So we're, take a cup, take it down, pass it all the way around. Great.
Hmm.
Put your hand over your heart, say a mantra, a prayer, what you want to get out of this, what you want to bless the circle with, you know. And I really was like, God, I just want to hear your voice. I want to hear your voice when I pray. I want to hear your voice in my voice and recognize that as my intuition, that's you speaking to me. You know, like that's what I need. And
Mm-hmm.
so, whole nine. So we get our cacao, go to take a sip. I was like,
What did you expect it to taste like?
because it smells like chocolate, you know,
What
and
did
it
you
looks
expect it to
like chocolate.
taste like?
And so she said that it's gonna be bitter. So I was expecting bitter. So I'm like, okay. Even as I was drinking it, I was like, how do I describe this to somebody? Because it was like bitter and chunky, but thin, like a thin, chunky liquid.
Choking up
Mm.
in my throat just thinking about it. Mm-hmm.
And knowing that, it never got better. So like every sip you took,
You thought the better part was at the bottom. Man, I just
maybe
turned up.
I'll acclimate, you know, the longer it steeps. I don't know. Y'all. Then we didn't have any water with us. So we're sitting there in this room. You know, it's a very comfortable room, you know, everybody's comfortable, whatever. Oh my God. But it
Oh
had
my
no water,
god.
so I couldn't even like cleanse my palate. So it's just sitting in your mouth. Then at one point she's like, would you like more? And no más, no gracias. And then the funnier part though, and I don't know if everybody was doing it, I feel like to a degree we're all just trying to like peep out the other people in the circle to see like how are they receiving this? Like so there was a
Natasha,
lady
you got to tell us your experience in the chat, sis.
there was a lady across from me, she took that first sip, her whole face frowned up. She was like, then there was a lady with two kids. And so she let her son try it and he was like it was an experience. But I will say it was like once like the chanting and everything, once we weren't drinking liquor, it was a very nice experience because you could feel just in the music and the drums, like it's in your spirit. You get to close your eyes and just kind of get lost in the mantra and like that part felt very good and in the unity of it all of like hearing all of these voices and Lord knows I cannot carry a tune in a bucket. So I feel next to me because she was actually recording. So I'm probably in the back of her video all off key, just wrong. Oh, but
This was
hey,
the
you know,
experience.
it wasn't about who could sing the best. That wasn't the
Yeah.
object of the game. It was, but it was a very nice experience. I definitely enjoyed it. The woman that led it, the facilitator, Anais, I believe is her name. Beautiful. First off, she was like super tall, blonde, French woman, just very well put together, and gave the best hug. Like super, like even in it, like she would engage just with eye contact as she was singing with people in the circle, and it definitely made you feel a part of it. So I definitely
Hmm.
enjoyed that.
I
So
love that.
it was a great time.
I
Definitely
want
an
to do. I want
experience.
to have something like that, but not with cacao. Cacao, sir, it is not
But I
tasty in
will
any way, shape, or
not
form.
tasty. And nothing, I don't know that I felt anything because of it. So I
And I
don't know
said the
that
same
I
thing. It's
needed
like I don't know that this did what it was supposed to do. I don't know.
just as joined and communal with the drums and the maracas without the thin, chunky liquid. Like I would have been perfectly fine in the fellowship. So
Yeah, so y'all, cacao is the raw, it's the raw ingredient for
yes,
chocolate. Like a lot goes
yes,
into processing chocolate and making chocolate actually taste like chocolate, but cacao
right.
is not that
Just
at
here it
all.
is.
It is the pure raw form of where chocolate comes from. So yes, it does smell like chocolate
Yes.
because it is the raw ingredient for chocolate, but it is not hot
Oh,
chocolate or cold chocolate or thin chunky chocolate. It's just not that.
it would have been better even if I didn't have the chunky bits. Because even the
It's
bitter,
just the chunky bits,
even
bro.
just the bitter water would have, I could have gotten
Ah!
with that. But it
Did they
was
blend it or was it just in a pitcher or it was
it
yeah,
was in
no.
a big pot. It was in like a stock pot.
Was it hot?
I think it started hot, but like by
I
the
had it
time
cold.
it
Mine was
got
on max.
cold, I don't remember if our first sip was hot or not, but because we were sitting there, it was like an hour and a half ceremony. So by the time we were done, it definitely was cold. But yeah, definitely before the milk and sugar was added. It was a very interesting experience, and I would love to see it with like an indigenous person that maybe
Yeah.
there's some additional backstory. I think
Mhm.
this was really good just connecting with other people and, being there and having the ceremony for what it was, but just really wanting to understand kind of where it came from, I think would be cool. I
Yeah.
think that the woman who facilitated it did a great job for what it was, for bringing a group of us in there. And it was so funny because they did have one chant that was in English. And so somebody, I don't even think they were a native English speaker, was like, finally. And we butchered that song. Like, I feel like the songs that were in it were
This
much
was
easier
an
as
experience.
chants. Yeah, it was an experience. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you, Natasha, for the invite. Um, and it was just really cool hanging out with the women and just seeing it. So, like, that part was nice.
Love that you're having these experiences because these are the things. These are the stories like that you're going to get to go around and when somebody be like, "Yeah, I'm about to do cacao," you're like, "Child, let me tell you about my cacao experience." Because that's exactly what happened to me. But I had the additional massage that wasn't a massage with the smoke
In the hut,
ceremony. It was
in
a
the
lot.
hot.
I don't know where that episode is, y'all. But it was a lot. It
It
was a
was hot.
lot.